Wow, complete and utter devastation. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. What I'm looking at here is the result of a tornado that ripped through northern Wisconsin in about July of 2019. I was actually coming from the north, heading south, and this storm came in right underneath me, and I can tell you, trees were down, it was raining, it was devastating. Well, you can see the result here. Millions of board feet are on the ground. But what's worse about this is the property values have suffered tremendously, and we're going to look into that. But every time there's a disaster, there's also an opportunity. And we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to mention a phrase that I don't think anybody has ever talked about. Storm chasing real estate buyers. That's today's topic on the American Landman. So chasing storms, would you have ever thought you'd even consider that was a possibility to find a piece of property? Well, that may be the opportunity here. You know, this area was devastated by a tornado in July of 2019. It was one of the worst storms that the area has seen in decades. And this tornado ripped through this area. And I was actually driving through it at the time. And it was the darkest wall cloud I'd ever seen. There was wind and rain and hail. And then suddenly these trees started coming down all over the road. And as I was driving through Polk County, Wisconsin on Highway 63, I actually was pulled over and I was stuck for a good hour as there were so many trees across the road and the power lines. It was complete devastation. It was gridlock. You couldn't move anywhere. And, you know, these properties now are on the market. And what's happening is these out-of-state owners or out-of-the-area owners are wanting to get rid of these properties. And they can't really hunt them anymore. They're devastated. This beautiful forest that they once had is all gone. Now the loggers have come in and they're starting to clean these properties up, but they really don't pay that well. The logs they're damaged, they're twisted, they're wet, they've been on the ground, and frankly the market is just, it's glutted with timber. Nobody wants to cut it. You know, sure, the owners probably got a payout on this. I think this area was declared a disaster area, so there was some insurance money paid out, no doubt. But now these properties are turning over, and as such, supply and demand, there's a lot of property on the market, and it all looks like this. So I'm here trying to assess this property just for the value, and I had to take a good look at it. And of course, I'll go back to my databases, and I will pull up the numbers, and I'll see what property's been selling for. But my guess is this is going to be a pretty good reduction in price, sale price, just because this isn't what people want. This is not what they're looking for. And when they come out and they visually see this, it's shocking to them as well. But to you as a buyer, this may be the exact opportunity you're looking for, especially if you're a low budget buyer. And low budget, I'm talking about maybe $100,000 to $150,000 budget to buy a property. I'm getting calls from you folks a lot with that type of budget. And this close to the Twin Cities, it's really hard for me to find it. You know, typically this would be $3,500 an acre land, easy. But my guess is that when I do some research, I'm going to find that this land is turning over at a pretty good discount just because of the mess that you see here. They've come in and logged this, and they're doing their best to clear it up, but let's face it, that's not your dream property. Think about this. Following these natural disasters, this is what you find. You're going to have opportunities. There's going to be people that are just done with this, so they're ready to move on. They have a lot of motivation to sell these properties, and the devastation, the motivation to sell may be just what you are looking for to get into your perfect piece of American land. Just something to think about. That's amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Wow. Okay, so I've emphasized the disaster portion of it. Where's the opportunity? Well, there's a lot of opportunity here. You just got to look for it. Number one, the infrastructure from the logging that's occurred here has opened up log landings such as this. As these trees grow back and the shrubs and the forbs and the trees start sprouting up all around you, these are going to be nice little hidey hole food plots. There's not much work to do here. The stumps are gone. It's fairly flat. You could plant food plots here. Number two are the trails. Let's take a look at that next. So all throughout this property are these fantastic logging roads. I mean, the infrastructure is in. This alone here is worth thousands of dollars. To rent a bulldozer and have them come in and clear and make these roads, it's probably $1,000 a day easy. And in the case of this property and all these properties that are storm damaged where they've been doing logging, the work is done. So you have the food plots and you have the trails, 2 thumbs up. So you don't have a lot of money to buy this property. Well, the money's everywhere. All over this property are remnant timber that the timber companies did not take. A guy could come up here with a chainsaw, some oil and some gas and a trailer, and in a couple weekends take thousands of dollars of firewood off this property. The folks in the Twin Cities, myself included, are gonna pay you $150 to $200 a cord for this firewood that's just laying out here. So if you got a little gumption and a chainsaw and some fuel, you can harvest this cordwood and pay off a huge chunk of your investment. Storm chasing real estate investing. I mean, who would ever have thought it? Well, you know, it's a real opportunity. This land in this area is now reduced in value just due to the sheer dimension of this natural disaster. It's going to come on the market and these properties will be sold. And it may be just the opportunity you've been looking for to get into your own piece of American land, something that you can work with and build it into your own. Because this will heal. Mother Nature has an uncanny way of fixing these disasters. It will green up. These trees will grow. You could come in, plant these food plots, keep the trails open, cut some firewood. There's so many things that you can do to improve this property, buy it at a low rock bottom price, and pay off your investment maybe with the natural resources that are here. If you're in an area where you don't have an opportunity to buy affordable land, sometimes you got to think outside the box to find that perfect piece of property, and this may be it. Chasing storms and investing in real estate is just one more way that you should consider on getting started. Hey, I'm Neil Hauger, and I'm a land specialist with Whitetail Properties Real Estate in Western Wisconsin. I'd like to be your guy in the land business. Let's talk. I look forward to talking with you, and thanks for watching The American Landman.